Hi, I wish to share my understanding of a new change that has been introduced to us on the second day of our brand new year. It is ACRA's revised penalty framework. Now we will talk about what the changes are about, who will be affected by the changes, why do we need to have the change, and when will it take effect, and what should I do now if I'm one of those companies affected by the change. Now, my name is Edgar Wong, and I will be sharing with you my understanding and my interpretation of the changes. Now, under the revised penalty framework, all Singapore incorporated companies, variable capital companies, as well as limited liability partnerships will be imposed with a late lodgement fees of $300 if the annual return or annual declaration is filed within 3 months after the filing due date. But the penalty will increase to $600 if the lodgement is filed more than 3 months after the filing due date. Now, compared to the current penalty regime, we have a flat rate of $300 for being late for local companies and VCCs, whereas for foreign companies and limited liability partnership, the penalty would range from $50 to $350. Now, who will the new law affect? All Singapore incorporated companies, as well as variable capital companies and limited liability partnership. Now, why do we need to have the change? Why do we need to have the new penalty framework? Now, this is part of ACRA's ongoing effort to make compliance simple, and secondly, to encourage companies and LLPs to take their statutory obligation on annual reporting seriously. Now, the first objective is to make it simple. Now, previously, we have a flat rate of $300 penalty for local companies and VCCs. Now, for these two group of companies, we have a brand new two-tiered system to remember. Now, perhaps it is definitely simpler for foreign companies and LLPs to move from a range of $50 to $350 to just a simplified two-tier penalty system of $300 and $600. So simple to one group but not to another. Now, the second objective is to ensure that entities affected by this new framework, right, would take statutory obligation on annual reporting more seriously. I definitely agree that the general increase in penalty rates would definitely enhance our attention to ensure that annual reporting is done on time. But one bit of good news I want to share is that ACRA said there is no change to the current penalty framework for ad hoc filings. Now, what do you mean by ad hoc filings? Examples would be if you want to file a change in registered address for the company and you are late to do so, the penalty remains unchanged. Now, when will this take effect? Now, this will take effect from 30th of April 2021. So we are still in the early part of the year. We have a couple of months, right, before we reach 30th of April 2021. Now, what do you mean by annual lodgement? So what are those filings that could be affected by this new framework? So what are those annual lodgement that could be affected? So example will be for local companies, we have to file, all companies must file their annual return every year. So for foreign companies, we also have to file our financial statement. And for LLP, we have to do our annual declarations. So for VCC, you also have to file your annual return. So basically, these are the annual returns or the annual filings that will fall under the new framework being announced today. So, like I said just now, the implementation date is 30th of April 2021. We still have a few months before we hit 2021 April 30th. So what are we going to do about it today? So if you are, so as we have talked about all these things about doing your annual returns, right? So one of the first thing you need to do to achieve your to be ready for your annual return filing will be your preparation of your accounts, right? Preparation of your financial statement before we need to call for AGM. So therefore, if you have not completed that stage, please talk to your accountant and get your accounts or financial statement done as soon as possible. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, right, see you when I see you. Cheers, bye bye, take care.